decluttering isn't just about what you're getting rid of. It's also about how you think about the things you own. What if I told you that the way we've all been taught to declutter is completely wrong? You know those piles, keep, donate, toss, they may actually be making it harder for you to let go. Here's the thing. Most people start decluttering with a focus on getting rid of everything. Their end goal is a big empty space without any tripping hazards or personality. That all or nothing mindset, it is a trap. You don't have to strip your home bare or live like a minimalist just to feel free. I mean, no one wants to live in a doctor's office waiting room. You need things, you need color, you need life in your space, just not too much. Decluttering isn't a punishment for owning too much stuff. It's a gift you give yourself to make space for what matters. When you look at it as a gift that you're giving yourself, it might totally change your mindset. Did you know that 80% of the items we keep are rarely, if ever, used? That's right, you're agonizing over something that you want to keep, but you're never going to use it. So even knowing that, so many of us cling to the things we have because we feel guilty, we feel anxious, and even sometimes overwhelmed by the decision-making process. It's easier to keep the item and live in chaos than to do the hard work of letting go. That all or nothing mindset sets you up for nothing but guilt and overwhelm. If you feel like every decision is life or death, keep this or be a failure, you're setting yourself up to fail before you even begin. One sabotaging thought I get all the time is thinking, I might need this someday. It's this little whisper that convinces us to keep things that realistically won't see the light of day again once it's put back in a cupboard. Or how about this one? It was so expensive. We hold on to things because of their perceived value, even when they no longer add value to our lives. Decluttering isn't about perfection. It's about progress. And those 4 piles everyone talks about, I mentioned them earlier, keep, donate, throw away, and sell. They can work, but only if you're clear about why you're making those decisions. Otherwise, they're just 4 more places for you to procrastinate. So let's reframe the process and set ourselves up for success from the get-go. And to do that, we're going to start by asking ourselves one very important question, and that's why. Instead of asking, should I keep this? Ask, does this add value to my life today? Notice I said today. That's the key. Not 10 years ago, not 10 years from now. Don't go back to when you bought that item in the first place, and don't think about who you could be in the future. Think about where you are right now in your life. This one gets me. I'm an aspirational person by nature, and I have a tendency to buy things for the me I'd like to be rather than the one I am. You have to replace the guilt with gratitude. One of the hardest parts of decluttering is guilt. Guilt for the money you spent, guilt for the gifts you've never used, guilt for the things you thought you'd become and didn't. Let's shift that. It's not going to be easy, but it's important. Instead of guilt, try gratitude. That gift served its purpose when it was given. That dress you never wore, it taught you more about your style. Thank them and move on. You don't have to literally thank them. You don't have to say thank you to each item. You can just acknowledge the role that item played and move on. Unless you want to say thank you, then by all means have at it. Let's talk about the it's all or nothing rule. Here's a twist for you. You don't have to let go of everything to make progress. You can hold on to what's truly meaningful. If you have your grandmother's china and you love to bring it out on special occasions, keep it. The danger comes when you have 4 sets of good china. That's when it gets overwhelming. Curating your possessions means keeping what brings you joy and purpose. Decluttering is about curating your life, not erasing it. So keep the things you love and use them. Just make sure that you use them. Don't just keep them because you love them and have them hide away in a cupboard. It doesn't do anyone any good. I was sorting through some old papers this weekend, and I came across a few things that I had to make a decision on. So picture this. I'm sitting at my dining room table, papers strewn everywhere, and I'm holding onto a stack of birthday cards all held together by an elastic. It's a pretty thick pile. And I start flipping through the cards and I think, I can't let these go because my best friend wrote me such a beautiful, heartfelt message on my 40th birthday, and it's right here and I'm looking at it. But do I really need that whole stack of cards? What if I just pulled that one out of that elastic pile and let the rest go, since that one's the one that really meant the most to me? Suddenly I've created space without losing the memory, and the things that aren't important can go. Now I'm going to get a little personal here with my next idea, and that's that when all else fails and you're still on the fence, ask yourself, if the item was covered in poop, would you keep it and clean it, or would you just throw it away? I mean, it sounds totally gross, and I think that's the point, but I've had to live this strategy a couple of times, and trust me, it works. We have cats, and as anyone with cats knows, their pee smells like ammonia, and it's nearly impossible to get rid of when it gets on anything. And we also have kids who play hockey, and hockey bags come with their own unique aroma. So during hockey season, we store their bags here in the sun porch so that we can keep the smell out of our house. Well, one day the cats decided to show their dominance and peed inside my son's hockey bag. Thousands of dollars of equipment ruined. And the worst part was that he didn't even notice the smell. He grabbed his bag and off he went to practice. And it wasn't until he was on the ice at the rink that he realized something didn't smell right. It was so gross. And let me tell you, boy sweat plus ammonia is not a mix that you want to smell. And we had to sit in the car with him the whole ride home. The first time it happened, I cried as I threw away what I could and then tried every trick in the book to clean the rest. The second time, yes, it happened more than once. Apparently, we are the kind of family who really has to have the lesson learned before it truly sinks in. So yes, the second time, I knew what to do and I managed to save everything. And as an aside, if you want to know how to get that smell out, let me know in the comments. I am more than happy to share my recipe. It is no secret and it works like a charm. Now, if it was old towels or shoes that I didn't wear anymore or clothes that don't quite fit, I would not have bat an eyelash before tossing those things out. So now that you're in a better decluttering mindset, how do you make the daunting task more manageable? Well, that's what we're going to talk about now. I'm going to share 3 easy ways to get you started in the right direction. Number 1 is start one small area at a time. Don't try to tackle the whole house in a day. I've said this over and over. Focus on one small area at a time. It really works. Start with a drawer, maybe a shelf, even a single box. Start with something that you can manage and build the momentum and go from there. The second idea would be to set a timer. Give yourself 20 minutes. That's it, just 20 minutes, and you'll be amazed at what you can accomplish. The third one is to ask for help. Sometimes it's easier when someone else can give you their perspective. Ask a friend or a family member to help you make the decisions. I do this all the time. I've called my sister on FaceTime and set her up in my bedroom to help me clean out my closet. I trust her opinion, and we joke around as I try on clothes, and I create my piles, and we chit chat and catch up, and it makes the entire process more fun. Or you can always leave a comment down below. Let's work together as a community and get you moving. Bottom line, you do not have to get rid of everything to declutter. Keep what's meaningful, release what's not, and you'll start to feel the weight lift instantly. But here's the thing, getting started is only half the battle. Once you've decluttered, how do you make sure chaos doesn't creep back? That's a whole other challenge. and I've got you covered. Click here to watch my video on decluttering strategies that actually work. We're going to tackle that next.